This is Thank You Mama, weekly lessons from mothers all around the world. Dear friends all over the world, I am relaunching the Thank You Mama newsletter and filling it with information and inspiration I am super excited about and would really love to share with you. You'll find a subscription link in episode notes on my website or in my Instagram link in bio. And finally, if you're enjoying the show and haven't done so yet, please give it 5 stars and a review. It's simple and quick, but it really helps the show to be discovered and to grow. Thank you so much for being here. And here's this week's beautiful conversation. Hello and welcome to Thank You Mama. My name is Anna Teider. My guest today is Zoryana Kushpler. Zoryana is an opera singer. She is originally from Lviv in Ukraine, currently based in Vienna, Austria. For many, many years, Zoryana was a member of the ensemble of the Vienna Opera, the famous Vienna Opera. She also performed at the Carnegie Hall, Volksoper in Vienna, Royal Albert Hall, and many, many other big and important places. Zoryana, hello and welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Anna. Thank you for invitation.
I am very happy you are here. You and I know each other for 2 years from bringing our kids to school and picking them up and children's parties. And just a few weeks ago, we actually sat down during the swim class and had coffee. And I learned that you are from Ukraine. And I really wanted to have a guest from Ukraine for a while, because until now I had guests from 60 different countries. And wow. I really wanted to hear a Ukrainian voice because of everything.
And here I am.
And here you are.
But
then I get the voice, Zoryana. I hit the jackpot.
You see, the wishes are coming true.
I know. How nice is that?
It's absolutely nice.
I just learned today, while I was researching about you, that in 2016 you were named Person of the Year in field of culture and art in Ukraine. Congratulations to that.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm very happy to be named Person of the Year. It's a big honor for me, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And I also learned, we just quickly talked about it, that you will start teaching. You were teaching all these years, but now you're becoming a professor at the University Mozarteum in Salzburg, which is a big deal. Congratulations.
That's right. Thank you so much. I'm very looking forward, because I like to teach as my mom.
Yes. But I want to talk about you and your work in Ukraine before we talk about Mama.
Okay.
Tell me, what is going on in Lviv right now? I didn't know about it, and I just researched it before our conversation, and saw what a beautiful city it is. I read that because it has quite a Mediterranean aura, that many times during the Soviet times, when they would have to film something that's taking place in, I don't know, Paris or Venice, they would use Lviv.
That's true.
That's fun.
True. But you know that Lviv was part of Austria-Hungarian time about 150 years.
I know, yes.
So it's about 5 generations who was growing up in Austria when Lviv belonged to Austria. Then Lviv was 30 years long, belonged to Poland. It was till 1938, I suppose. It was part of Poland, and then that's become to be Sovietico. So, and I was born in Soviet Union. But you know, Lviv was all the time with. This is what I can compare with Vienna. The culture in Lviv was the most important thing. It's a lot of it's a lot of musicians, painters, and actors and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of theaters, a lot of, it's an opera house. So it's a high cultural city, was, and it is still. And I have to say that during the war, now I was there and I recorded a CD with Ukrainian music with orchestra, who is refugees from Lugansk. It's East Ukraine. Half of orchestra came to Lviv and is still in Lviv. And I recorded with this orchestra a full CD that will come by Gramola.
Oh, beautiful. This is big
it's famous Austrian label will come out in autumn. I think it's in October or something like this. And I'm very excited about this work because when I'm here, when I'm hearing this CD, I feel this, it's a lot of energy. It's, this tragedy around us, but also this hope.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I feel the hope
That's beautiful.
in this because it was also the beginning of war. Yeah. It was we recorded in summer. So, but I will go back in my again.
So Lviv is safe for
yes, Lviv is safe because it's West Ukraine. Yeah. So every day it's about 2 or 3 or by sometimes 5 times the air alarm. But, people first they were scared and now it's a part of life.
I know. It's a part of life. Mm-hmm. I know that from war in Croatia. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But let me ask you about your singing. You're a mezzo-soprano.
Yes, I am.
And I'm curious if you have a favorite role.
Not of course. When I was, I will start from my childhood because it's still the same role that I adore. My father was also opera singer, famous Ukrainian opera singer, and he was also my teacher later. But when I was 6 years old, my father always told this story. I told him that when I will be able to sing on stage, I will sing Carmen. Mm-hmm. So I was 6 years old and it was my dream really all the time. And my debut as a Carmen, for the first time, full role, I sang it in Vienna on the Volksopera in Vienna.
Beautiful.
So it was a big honor for me. And then I sang it in several countries and stages. And it's still my favorite role because you have not so only to sing, but you have to act. But my favorite is to talk and to sing. I like it very much.
Zoryana, let's go back to the beginnings, because I find it beautiful how you grew up in a musical house and your parents were your teachers. And you also have a sister, a twin sister, who is a pianist.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about it. How did it all start?
It started, we had with my sister no choice.
Okay.
My father was an opera singer. I'm saying was because unfortunately 11 years ago he died in a car incident.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm still, this pain will never go away. Never. But I can live with this now, And my mom was a pianist and she was the decan of singing department. So I had finally, after school, when I started to study in Music Academy, I have my teacher and my decan in my home. Well, but I have to say it was not easy. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But I learned a lot from this situation. And of course, also this, I don't know if it's right or not right, but I'm talking to my son, the same that my mom told to me, she told to me, Zoryana, I am a well-known person, Papa also, so you have to study well because other way we cannot say to another students, do it better, because if our daughter is not good, so how we can teach another people?
Oh, that's interesting.
And this was for me, for example, the reason why I learned Italian language in 1 year perfectly. But so far that I start my first money I earned as translator from Ukrainian to Italian or from Russian to Italian and back.
Zoryana, I heard in one of your interviews how you used to play violin for 13 years.
That's
and
true.
that you would be nervous getting on stage with violin, but that you're never nervous, that you're actually looking forward to getting on stage while singing. I was deeply touched by that. Because when you find the right thing, this is it.
I think that I was lucky with this because I was nervous. This is absolutely true. When I came with the violin on stage and as soon I started to sing, it's gone. I'm never nervous, thanks God. But not each singer is like this. Even if they loves their job and enjoy it very much, I see a lot of colleagues, they are extremely nervous before. So I think it's luck. It's just... I'm lucky to be like this. So.
Let's talk about Mama now. Let's talk about Mama Ada. Is she also from Lviv? Was she?
No. My mom came from East Ukraine, from a little town, Romny. It's exactly where is now the ugliest war.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
And I'm not sure if her town already exists. I don't know.
If it still exists, yeah. Is she here in Vienna with you?
Yes, she's with me, and I was lucky to bring her 3 days before war started. 3 days before, because I was also lucky to be in Lviv on 20th of February. I had concert in a Philharmonie with Dvorak Requiem. And I already, these bad rumors about war and bad mood. I was absolutely sure, and I swear you, I was absolutely sure it's not that nothing will happen. But I told to my mom, for me, it will be better if you come with me now, just to live this time with us, and then we will see. She came with me with the last plane from Lviv. It was the last plane from Austrian Airlines directly to Vienna. On Monday we came, on Thursday started the war. It
started. Do you have family? Does she have family there?
Yes, we have family in Kiev. We have family in Lviv and around Lviv also. Yes, we have.
Do you know are you in contact?
Yes. We are always yes. They are safe now. In Kiev now it's okay. But when it starts, for example, part of family of my mom came to Lviv and was in our apartment about 2 months. Then now they are in Poland with a little, who have a little kids was trying to leave the country.
Of course. It's traumatic. It's terribly traumatic for children.
For children and for parents. I have here my friends with kids who I helped a lot in the time who I was asking to come to Vienna with the children, so they are here and already speak German. That's what I'm very, very proud of my Ukrainian people, that they immediately start to learn language, to looking for a job and not to, to stay here and to crying.
Yeah.
They immediately start, not everybody, of course, I don't want to exaggerate, but the most part is immediately starting to live her life and not to be only,
a burden on the society.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
But let's go back to Mama. How did she become a pianist? What was her story?
Her story is the same as by my father. Both parents of my parents wasn't musician, but was very musical. My grandfather from Mama, he played guitar, and my grandmama sang very nice. Grandfather of my father also sang, and grandmother also sang. So the voice is, just in generation. And Mom said that the neighbor had the piano. And that she came once to play with the kids from this neighbor, and she tried to play something. And this neighbor spoke to my grandma and told that, I think that Ada could be able to play piano. My grandmom and all women of my family is very tough. So, and it's very, smart. And my grandmom immediately bought the piano, and she did everything for my mother, everything. Then she moved with my grandpa from this Romny to Lviv. Because, in that time, it was very funny. You couldn't buy an apartment, but you could change.
Yeah, you could swap apartments because there was no private property during the communism.
Absolutely. So they was trying to switch to Kiev.
Okay.
Because of family.
Yeah.
But, it was absolutely impossible to switch from this little small town in East Ukraine to Kiev. Who won't change?
Yeah.
But it was a possibility in Lviv.
Okay. And this is
that was the destiny. Yes. It was the destiny. So my grandmom said, okay, it's time for Mama because it was also music academy in Lviv.
Okay. So they moved to Lviv for her musical. Okay.
Yes. Absolutely, yeah. And my mom was a very good student. She had two diplomas as a pianist and as a choir conductor. And she was so good as a pianist that she immediately was asked to stay in the academy to teach. And she started to play in the class of famous conductor. He was also principal conductor of Opera House, Mr. Lutsev, that he's still alive. He's over 90. So my mom came to his class, and my father, he used to study singing and orchestra conducting. So he was a student of this conductor. So that's how my parents met. After I think I was 5 or 6 years old when my mom, and I remember this day when my mom came home and thought that she will become decan of singing and conducting department. So, and she was more as 32 or 35 years on this position, and she was who decided to leave this position. And the director was talking to her and asking to her to stay another 3 years because she had still contract. But mom said no.
She was tired.
She was, my mom is she wants to decide everything by herself. And if she feels that this is the time, she will not wait that somebody will tell it to her also. She decided by herself. And this is, for example, the first lesson that I had from her. Just to resolve my problems by myself. Just not to, to expect from people that somebody will resolve your problems. You are responsible in the school, for example. She never came to school. When we had problems, she told to us with my sister, it's your problems, you have to look how to manage it. That's it.
But that was also our generation, and I'm sad to see that that's not happening anymore. I was just talking to a friend of mine who is our age, and we said, our parents were never at school. Our parents never knew what we were learning at the moment at school. Never. My parents were never, that just wasn't their thing.
Yeah, but Anna, you see, we have now this chat.
Yes,
from the class. Can you imagine this at that time? I mean,
my mom would send them all to hell. She'd be like, she would just exit. She would be, I'm not dealing with these things. Photos from the library. No, I have things to do.
Definitely. But you know how time is changing.
Yeah.
Of course, this was a generation of our parents who was born after the Second War.
Yeah.
And this is a very tough, but also very, strong generation.
Strong generation.
For example, my mom, she never kissed me. She never gave me a hug. No. My father, yes. But she was very cool with us. I had problems with this. A lot of years, but now I'm absolutely okay with this because I'm kissing my son from morning till the evening without to stop. So I think that because I haven't this from my mother, I know how important it is for the child. So because, when you asked me to talk about my mom, I decide to, and I'm always saying truth, I will tell you everything how it was. The good and the bad thing. Because from this I learned also that I have to kiss and to hug my child. I have to say to him that I love him. And when I start with him to talk with a serious themas about, school and other thing, I always start with the words that I love him very much. And then I start to say what I want for him.
How does she react? Now she lives with you and she's watching this. How does she react to that? Is she like, Zoryana, you should be kissing him so much, or?
Yes. Yes, but no, you know what? From the beginning, yes. But by the first Mama's Day, it's about in May, I think, that Mother Day in India, in Austria. She told me that, Zoryana, congratulations to Mama's Day. And she told to me that you are amazing, Mama. And, I was starting to cry.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I'm crying now.
I know.
This is so touching because I think what I understood from her, this education, she maybe wanted to do it, but she couldn't because of the time, because, even from her education. And when she see that it's absolutely possible to do, I think that she realized also now a lot of things, and we are very nice with each other now. We had our problems a lot because my mom is very opinionated. Yeah. And my mom wanted to know everything and to to discuss everything and to say to each tema her opinion. And in some point I had to learn how to protect me, how to do what I feel for what is right for me. So it was a hard time for me. But now most important thing for me was that she accept me as an adult person, and that she's talking to me on the same level. And this is absolutely, what I'm trying to do already with my son now. I don't want to be, that I'm the biggest, the cleverest, the smartest as you. And one day when I was maybe 25, I asked my mom, why you are talking to me in this tone? I'm not a child anymore. And she told to me in that point, no, you really think that I will talk to you on the same level? And I watching to her and I thought, yes. So it was not immediately like this, 20 years after.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, for her it was, I think it's for parents, maybe it's really a big deal. But, we have little children now. Our son is 8 years old, so it's still children. But when this time will arrive, when we have to accept that they are adult and that they have to have those opinions and to not and have the right not to ask our opinion about this, and that we have maybe not to tell it if we are not asking. Nobody asked us about this. So
I had a feeling even when Kai was in my belly, and especially once he was born, it was very interesting for me because I didn't expect to have this feeling. From the moment I knew he's in my belly, I felt him as his own person. I felt very respectful towards him, and never... If I remember holding him in my hands and he was a tiny little baby, and I thought... You are your own person. Like, who am I to push anything on you? I really.
But this is absolutely true. That I never also feel that my child is my property.
Exactly.
No.
Or that I know better than him. It's stupid things, wash your hands after you go to the toilet. But
yes, okay. This was for me, for example, a big surprise that that parents should really tell to the kids everything.
Yeah.
Everything, how to clean the teeth, that you have to be, and I continue to speak to my son that you have to be always clean and you have to change your clothes. And if you see that it's dirty, go and change you. And, we have to repeat. But okay, we have very much information. If we can in a minute go and see each question in Google.
Yeah. Yep.
How to react, how not to react, if the situation like this is like that. We have a lot of information. Our parents haven't this. Mm. It was even not a good sign to talk to somebody and to ask somebody for support.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had to act by themselves and to decide by themselves. So, and honestly, that was, for example, for me also very important to understand, just to come with my mom in a good relationship back.
Mm-hmm. How I want to go back a little bit to that. How did you do that? Nowadays, since I've been dealing with this topic for 3 years, I see so many mother-daughter coaches, books, how-to guides, how to deal with your difficult mom. I'm guessing you just learned it yourself.
Well, I was starting actually to read the books about strong mothers. Mm-hmm. I was wondering how many people have the same mama as me as character.
Yeah.
I was also, and this is absolutely for me, I can only suggest to go to the
to therapy.
Therapy, yes. Mm-hmm. And I was in the therapy about my mom. Mm-hmm. It was because it was for me, she could say something to me, and it's brought me out of my middle for a long time. And in some point, so you cannot stop to call your parents, and you cannot stop to talk to your parents. Of course you can. But it was...
You see, that's us Eastern Europeans. We do not break contact.
No,
we find a way.
It was for me, we find a way. But honestly, it was never this limit that I had to say, though, that's over. It was always under limits, but not over.
Interesting.
So, but in some point, I understood that like this, I cannot exist anymore, because this problem I have to resolve. So she have to change. I have to change something in myself. And it took me years.
Of course.
But now I have only to say that I love my mom. Really love her, and I'm very thankful that the most important thing that she gave me is she teach me to work, to work hard, and hard in a good way. And just to reach my goals. So when I start to do something, then to finish this, not to break it in the middle up. But and she told to me, then don't begin. If you but this is, this
it's
is
so important.
It's important, because she told me, Zoryana, before you start to do something, sit down and think about all this from the beginning till the end. She also teach me to preview the situations, to preview what can happen if this, that, and not only one way. Several ways. It could be like this, like that. It's a very important to think not 2, but 3 or 5 steps in the future. So to see your future, see your future. I mean, who know our future, but you know what I mean. Just to know what you are doing, what will be the end or the way or the situation if you start to do it now, and if you decide, then finish this.
How did that not cause anxiety? How did that not cause fear of starting things? I'm listening to you and I think it sounds great, but I'm worried if somebody would tell me this, I would never do anything. I'm the person to whom you need to say, just jump in and swim, like just do it. And then I do it, but if I think about it too much, I don't think I would ever do the stuff.
Well, I'm curious about life.
Yeah.
I love life, and I'm curious about life. And this is, for example, from my father. It's from my mother, that my father teach me that it's never too late to study something new. to meet something new, to be open for something new, because it's a lot of people who finish the university then never learn something else because they think, okay, I already finished.
I'm done.
But, during the pandemic, for example, when we had nothing to do, all my performances and concerts was canceled. So I decided to visit the online course, and I finished this, of course. This is Institut für Kulturkonzepte.
Oh, I studied there as well, yeah.
Yes, Kulturmanagement.
Yeah,
Culture
I did the same thing, years ago.
Really? Oh,
I did many years ago.
But you know how hard is it? So you have a lot to do. You have to write a diploma. You have to visit the seminars, and it was for me always interesting to meet another part of my art. So not only what is happening on stage, but also what is happening from the other side. Also, this my mom taught to me. Think what you will do when you are 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. So that's why I'm starting now to teach in Mozarteum, because I thought, okay, I have to start to teach in a university or some music academy when I'm still on stage. This is the point of thinking steps in advance. And this is what I'm trying to teach to my son.
Yeah.
If he's doing something and something happens, I say, Mark, but you have to think what will happen if you will act like this. I saw a lot of people in my life that doesn't even think about to think a half of step in advance. Yeah. And then it's only surprising,
especially artists. Yeah.
especially artists. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why it's not so much artists who become a good career.
Yeah.
Because the good career depends not only from your talent but from your brain, how you use your brain.
Hard work and planning. Do we have more lessons?
Well, my mom, for example, she never told me that I have to marry and to have kids.
Oh, I
love
example. That. Yeah.
Never. I hear it from several friends that mom, they say, you are so old, you have to marry, you have to have kids. My mom never thought it to me. And at some point I thought maybe it would be great if she if she said it with someday. But, it's also, I think that that's what she thought. Your problems you have to resolve by yourself. Nobody have to say to you that you have to
get married.
That.
Yeah.
I don't know why she didn't spoke with both of us, with my sister, but both of us are married.
Zoryana, I'm always curious to hear if there was something important she didn't teach you or wasn't able to teach you that you had to learn by yourself.
Well, this exactly this about the family, how important this is. It absolutely this. But now I understand that she showed me by her example, because she was very in love with my father. We was a happy family. My father loved my mother very much. This was an example for our life, how we have to be, the respect in the family and love. But she wanted to see us successful in our jobs. This was for her most important. The rest was not important or not so important, or she doesn't say it. To reach the goal, to be successful as an opera singer, to be successful. Because when I played violin, my father actually doesn't want that I become a singer. Because she knew how tough is this job and blah, blah. And I thought to my father that, Papa, but tell me, please, what kind of job is easy?
Yeah.
If you want to do something, you have to work.
Yeah.
So, and it was my mom who brought me it was actually my father who brought me to the his voice teacher. But it was a mom who came 1 month after and was listening to, and she thought, okay, if you want, learn it. And she spoke to Papa and thought to him, just be quiet, let her do what she wants. My mom taught me to make decisions and to be absolutely sure that it's the right decision and not to change it too often. I mean, it's a lot of people who decide today to do this and in the morning they waking up and change the mind. No, it's not my mom. My mom, if she decides, she decides. And this is what I have also.
Mm-hmm.
She had incredibly intuition.
Oh, yes.
She feel these things in previous, if I like it or not. But she told me a lot of things just from from Bauch heraus,
from gut feeling.
Gut feeling.
My mom was the same, and she would read people and read situations, and she would just say something, and then 2 days later it turned out it's true. It was crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you feel it with yourself?
Yes.
Are you also intuitive? Yeah.
Yes, I see it, and I'm very mom in a lot of things, but I have also a lot from my father. To show my love, to tell to my husband that I love him. My mom never told this to my to my father. She loved him, but for her is to say it. It's some problems. I don't know why. But
you see, we came nice full circle back to the question what she wasn't able to teach her, and this is absolutely the important lesson. Zoryana, this was incredible. We could talk for hours, I think.
I have to say sorry for my English because I have not so much possibility to give interview in English. It's for me pretty new like this. I'm giving interview in English, but it's, I have to write it. And this is much more easy. But so improvised. So I'm sorry for my mistakes, but it was very enjoyable for me.
Yes,
thank you, Anna.
For me too. Help me to recap quickly what we talked about. So as lessons I have to resolve your problems by yourself, to go for your goals, reach your goals and not give up. When you start something, to finish it. And the important thing also connected, I think, to this is make decisions, but make the right decisions and try not changing them too often.
Yes.
And I love thinking ahead, thinking before you make the decision, think about different things that could happen, different versions of it before you make the decision. Also to think ahead for yourself. Think what you will be doing when you're 60, 70, 80 years old. To plan steps in advance, I like it how she never told you to marry and have kids because for her, your career was the most important thing.
Yes.
I have, what did I write down? The intuition. And then we talked about what she didn't teach you. And this is where you mentioned, as she didn't push you into get married and have a family, this importance of family, but she did show it to you. And also about not showing love. You had to learn yourself how to show love and express it. Wow. This was a lot.
Thank you very good. You said it to me, please.
Of course.
It's got a lot because it's very, very important sometimes to read it. Because life is long. Thanks God. Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's happened situations with my mom. Then I can read it, and maybe it will bring me down.
Clarity. I will send it to you,
Zoryana. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you again.
Thank you, my dear. Very, very, very much. And I'm very happy that my son has so good friend and so good mama in the same class.
Me too. If you enjoy Thank You, Mama, and want to help it grow, please take the 2 seconds to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps. If you'd like to get in touch, you can send me a mail at info@thankyumama.net. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under Anna Tajder. That's Tajder. This was Thank You, Mama. Come back next week, subscribe, and tell your friends.